Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Daily Score. I'm Mark Grote. Thanks for joining us. As always, I am out at Haugh. Just wrapped up day 2 of the mandatory minicamp. They will practice again early today and then break camp until the real training camp begins in late July. Another up and down day, I thought, for Caleb Williams and the offense. We saw more of Roman Dunze today, a couple of nice connections between Caleb Williams and the Bears rookie, number 15 out there for the Bears. Good blossoming of a connection and chemistry with Keenan Allen as well. Good end of game stuff for Caleb Williams. Got the team in position for a field goal going basically the length of the field in the final 2 minutes of the game. Obviously, we know exactly how important that part of it is. There was a sequence where we saw the good and the bad in a matter of about 2 minutes out there on the field from Caleb Williams. The bad was Caleb Williams throwing a bad interception to Tremaine Edmunds right in the middle of the field. Edmunds took it in. They were deep in their own zone, was the Bears offense, and Caleb Williams. Tremaine Edmunds makes a great pick, goes up and gets his paws on it, takes it into the end zone. But the very next play, he hits about a 45-yard beautiful drop in the bucket strike to Velus Jones in the corner of the end zone. So I've been seeing the great stuff that everybody talks about with Caleb Williams, and then you see the rookie has yet to play a real game, complications and mistakes that a rookie will make. And one of the things is that the offensive players have been talking about is the cadence and the issues with that. And I'm going to sit back and let my guy Teven Jenkins tell you about it, because this is great stuff. It's decently long, but I find it to be very compelling with Teven Jenkins, the Bears starting left guard, being very honest about the offense right now.
I feel like we're going to have a little rough spots right now. Yeah, we got things we got to get on, like cadence-wise and everything, but that's been pointed out. I mean, we can't not acknowledge it. We all acknowledge it right now, and we're going to definitely get on top of that, but so far, everything else has been great.
With the cadence, it takes a while, but from an offensive lineman standpoint, what is the process of learning how Caleb kind of calls things in his voice?
It means a lot. I mean, that's what engages us to get off that ball, and that's what's emphasized in this offense. We communicate to him what we need from him, and he has a lot of other things going on. He's running the whole offense, but one thing that we always try to tell him is voice louder, emphasize even if we're going on 2, emphasize that second hut, to make the defense draw off sides, get a free play, and those plays that we got last year, that we got that free touchdown to DJ, that was on a free play, the emphasis on that hut, the defense makes it real, thinks it's real, so they get off, and just communicating to him that those voice inflections are very important and everything.
This might sound dumb, but obviously you guys are practicing that, hearing him out on the field. Is that stuff that's also going on in the classroom of just straight up vocal exercises for you to hear what it sounds like?
Yeah, we do walkthroughs in the indoor area, and just working on cadences. And I mean, we have one of the best move teams on the whole NFL. Billings is probably top voice of doing that, and he's got us a lot, and that's one thing that we got to get better at. And the one thing we always do is in the ITC, what we do is try to imitate that move call with him doing his regular cadence.
How do you do that? Sorry. How do
you want me yelling him?
Just yelling at him?
No, you want me to yell? No, you want me to yell like Billings?
What does it sound like?
Move! And then you get back into the cadence. And you try to say ready, and then Billings yell move, and then you try to not jump off sides and get used to him hearing him back there getting loud.
Yeah, I love that. Great stuff there from Teven Jenkins on the cadence from Caleb Williams, and something that he'll continue to work on, and hopefully that'll be right by training camp. That's what some of this off-season stuff is for. I'm not worried about it. As a matter of fact, I followed up with Teven about, is that the biggest problem right now? And he said, yeah. And he said, we're in good shape if that is indeed the biggest problem. And there's still going to be more growing pains along the way, and just getting used to everything for Caleb Williams and this offense, which, has not been together long, and, Keenan Allen just joining the party. But there is a lot of good that we're seeing out there. But that is something, the cadence is something now they've been talking about for the last couple of days. So that absolutely has to get cleaned up. Here is something I did not expect about the Bears this year. There is suddenly some confusion over, I don't even know if that's the right word. Maybe some change possibly at the right guard position this year for the Bears. Let me let you hear the cut. The question is installed, and then I'll react after this.
He'll get that.
There's been a lot of moving parts at right guard this spring, some due to necessity, some due to experimentation. When we've seen Pryor, Bates, Nate. How do you see that position sort of sorting itself out as you get closer to the regular season?
Yeah, don't know yet. I really don't know. I think that we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm just thinking through my head a bunch of multiple combinations. I really don't know exactly what that could look like. Sure, we had Bates there. He's played there. Sheldon's played at center. Of course, Davis has played there. Tevin's been on the other side. So there's, Pryor's been in and been out. So the versatility there is certainly helpful. And, Ryan did a really good job of having those pieces in there. So we don't, like last year or prior years, a guy goes down for a couple weeks, then we're like, what are we going to do? So at least we have that flexibility now at the O-line position.
Isn't the expected starter?
I'm sorry?
Isn't the expected starter at right guard?
Yeah, he's been our starter, right? So I expect him to be in there.
I am suddenly not convinced that it's a slam dunk that Nate Davis is the starting right guard. Like, if I had to, somebody said, Mark, who do you think the offensive line is going to be when the season opens? Like, right now, I'd still say Nate Davis is the right guard and Darnell Wright is the right tackle. Ryan Bates, I think, would be the center. Left guard, Teven Jenkins, and left tackle, Braxton Jones. But, boy, that put a little bit of mystery into it. Last year, we know that Nate Davis was dealing with some very, very real personal stuff, death in the family. But, we'd all asked up until the point we learned that, why isn't he practicing? Why is he there and he's not? And today was the first day that I saw Nate Davis being a full participant in, the team drills, the 7-on-7, and not the 7-on-7, but the 11-on-11. So it does make you wonder what's going on, or maybe just take them at their word that you do have backup plans this year, that you're working Matt Pryor in a lot, guy that, the big, tall veteran that they brought in this year. You have Jatari Carter, the second year. He's third year now. But they have Jatari Carter. You have Ryan Bates, who can obviously play guard because that's where he's played most of his career. I think he's going to be the center, but it just makes you wonder a little bit. I mean, something, if you want something to keep your eyes on during training camp, all of a sudden, I think Nate Davis is one of those. Last thing we need to hear about. I mean, the defense has gotten really high grades throughout so far in this OTAs. They look like a defense that's ready to make the next step. Keenan Allen calling them a top 5 defense. I don't think that they were there last year, but I mean, they're talking the part for sure. And here's some perspective from Jaylon Johnson on the Bears defense this year.
I mean, honestly, I feel like it's a blessing just to see how far I feel like we've came. I think, too, just last year, leaving a lot on the table early in the season, and now being able to pick off where we left off at last year, I think is a good feeling. I feel like even adding, of course, Kevin coming in here and adding his veteran IQ to the game, just calling out things, allowing us to play faster, us being on the same page. I feel like for me, too, having him now instead of Eddie, I feel like it's been a very smooth transition, just coming in and building and talking about how we want to play certain things, how he sees it. I mean, we see a lot of the game the same way. So I think just on that part, and then just also, too, getting everybody back together, like I said, back where we left off at. So, I mean, it's a lot of energy out there for us to have, and I think we can definitely take it up a few notches this year, and then we're going to have a good offense to go against and make us better. So I think we're very excited for the opportunity in practice and for this upcoming year.
Yeah, I think for once we heard an offensive player maybe making a defensive player better, just watching Kyler Gordon and Keenan Allen go at it on the field. And, Okay. I'm not saying Kyler Gordon is getting burned badly or anything like that, but he makes it clear that he's learning from one of the best around, and that's going to be quite an education, I think, for Kyler Gordon going up against Keenan Allen. That's going to be it for the Daily Score today. Final day of the mini camp going down today, later at Haugh. Thank you to Ray Diaz for executively producing this podcast. I am Mark Grote, and I will talk to you later on the Daily Score.